2.5 with 2:41 to play in the third. Roethlisberger putting his shirt back in. We go to Susie.
Well, just watching Matt Hasselbeck between series there took Jeremy Stevens' hand. You can see him gesturing to him. Just stay with it. The drops are okay. Then he sat down with each one of his receivers, starting with Bobby Ingram and then moving to Joe Jaravicius. Sat down, looked at the photos, trying to decipher where the holes in this defense are.
And now Hasselbeck will take over. And one reason they get backed up here is I think Warwick should not have let that punt go. He had a chance to field it.
And now it looks like that Pittsburgh crowd is here. And they know what to do. Look at that end zone there.
Well, it's the end of the third quarter. The crowd is close to the players, and Alexander gives them a little bit of breathing space. Farrier makes the tackle. It's a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 7.
Yeah, we get here towards the end of the third quarter, and you start feeling that finality. I mean, there's no way that anyone's going to get down now. I mean, you may get hurt, but you're not going to get down. I mean, this is where adrenaline comes. Everything you have, your whole season boils down to this. Everyone knows the winners. They forget the losers.
And a few legacies as well. And Hasselbeck's going to take off, and he's going to run for a first down as he's up to the 16-yard line. And Clark Higgins is down. So the outside linebacker, a key part of the Pittsburgh defensive scheme, needs a moment.
Yeah, you look at Matt Hasselbeck, and you don't think of him as a runner, but he's a very good runner. This is a bootleg. You see, he fakes the run to the left, and then he comes out here on a bootleg pass. He has the crosser who is covered, so he had to run. He had one guy on the outside, then he has Bobby Ingram coming on the cross. He sees that he doesn't have either thing. He's not going to force it in there, so he turns and runs with it.
Here's what happened to Higgins. A kick by his own man, Aaron Smith. So he has to come out at least for one play. James Harrison takes his place, number 92. It'll be first down and 10. Clock starts to run again under 2 minutes to play. A little less than 17 minutes left in regulation. In the Super Bowl, in a 4-point game. Play fake. Out in the flat. Caught. Short gain, and then it's over. There's no fumble there. Ryan Hannum, the second tight end. Ball whistled dead before it came out.
Well, this has to be an idea that Mike Holmgren has now that he wants to bootleg, because on the first down play, he bootlegged. On the third down play, he bootlegged to the right. Then he comes right back with another bootleg. See, both backs go to the right. And you see Hasselbeck bootlegs out here to his left. So he bootlegged right and then came right back with another bootleg, this time to the left.
Second down and 7. Hasselbeck throws, and that is going to be caught for a first down as Ryan Hannum again makes the catch and wrestles it away from Larry Foote to move the chains.
Ryan Hannum is the second tight end for the Seahawks, and he's a guy that's usually in there for blocking. You know, Jeremy Stevens is a pretty good receiver, tall guy, not a good blocker. Ryan Hannum is a good blocker.
From the 27. Pass throw on the run, making the catch. Bobby Ingram gets it out close to midfield at the 48-yard line. Hasselbeck looking over the bench. They can let the clock run out to end the period and turn it around. And that's what will probably, well, I was going to say be the case, but now Hasselbeck's going to huddle up here, and they will attempt to run off one more play before the end of the third quarter. And that will be a pass to the left side that is incomplete, and that will do it. So some Super Bowls are over after the third quarter. A lot of them have been. Not this one. 15 minutes left in regulation. Herndon's pick, key play of the game. 14-10. Pittsburgh leading Seattle. Our coverage of the Super Bowl resumes after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Sprint lets me down.
80 or more yards. That would be nothing new. You've got Clark Higgins back in the game now. And the fourth quarter starts with an Alexander run as he slants off the left side and takes the ball to the 46-yard line.
Want to see one of the reasons that you can't run inside, and you see the guy right there, number 98, is Casey Hampton. I mean, he is so good inside, and then he's pretty good running down the line of scrimmage. In fact, he makes a tackle, but watch him here, and he is so big and strong, and there's no way that if you don't get into him and get him cut, that he's not going to make the play anywhere between the hash marks and the numbers. You say, why doesn't Seattle run more inside? That guy right there is a big reason.
Third down and 5 from the 47-yard line. Hasselbeck look left, goes right, picks up the first down. Bobby Ingram, big catch, and is taken down at the 30-yard line by Ike Taylor. Big third down conversion.
That was bunch out there, and that was all Matt Hasselbeck. I mean, he had good pass protection, and that was about his third read. I mean, he's gonna come. Watch it. Here's the bunch up here, so he knows that he has 3 wide receivers out there. He has a short guy, a medium guy, and a deep guy, and they drop off and leave the short guy wide open. Hasselbeck looked deep and then came back to short.
They've already moved 68 yards on this drive, and a few more here as Alexander comes off a Max Strong block to pick up about 7 yards. The largest deficit ever overcome to win a Super Bowl. Washington against Denver back in San Diego in Super Bowl 22. Denver led 10-0 in the end of the quarter, and by halftime it was 34-10. The Giants against Buffalo in the game in which Norwood misses the field goal at the end. The Giants overcoming a 9-point deficit in that one.
Yeah, I think if I were Seattle, and maybe they're doing it now, this was an official's timeout, I would go to that up-tempo thing that they started in the game with.
Seattle was down by 11, and right now they've got another first down as Alexander is over the left side. There's Polamalu. It's so interesting because the stars, the defensive stars, it's Polamalu 43 and Porter 55. They've been in some of the action, and of course sometimes you take people out of the game. But whatever Seattle is doing in this regard, John, neither guy has been that big a factor today.
No, and they've been trying to stay away from Polamalu. I mean, some of their plays are adjusted to where he lines up, and it's the same thing with Joey Porter. They're always going to have blockers on him, not let him have a free edge.
Seattle pressing the pace, and the pass is caught over the middle, and that's Jeremy Stevens who takes the ball to the 1-yard line. So the tight end, and what a day he's having, there's a flag down. A flag and
holding. Number 75 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's the right tackle. It's Sean Locklear holding that time.
Yeah,
holding Clark Higgins.
He was holding Clark Higgins. Higgins came back in, and you're going to see him rush from the outside here. Locklear makes a pretty good move with that right arm. Ooh, I didn't see holding. I mean, you have to be able to jam up in there. And, there may have been holding, but it wasn't in that picture. And Sean Locklear wasn't really bad on that play.
Holding is a call, as we know, John. That's not always seen.
Well, they always say that, you can call holding on any play, but we saw there, I did not see holding.
Would have been at the 1. Instead, it's at the 29, and it's first down and 20. Hasselbeck under pressure, gets spun down, and that's Casey Hampton. And John talking about Casey Hampton, and Hampton is able to burst through and put the pressure on and create a huge sack. So from the 1-yard line after the penalty and the sack, they're all the way back now.
Yeah, and here's Casey Hampton here, and you're talking about a 330-pound guy that when he gets a push-up, look how strong he is. He took the center, Robbie Toback, and with one arm, his left arm, he just pushed him right to the ground and then ran right up to Hasselbeck.
How unusual is that? The last time Hampton had a sack, it was early in the 2003 season. Regular or post. Second down and 25. The ball is at the 34. On the ground now, Alexander sprints to the outside, and Alexander gets collared at the 26-yard line by Joey Porter.
And you just have the feeling we're talking about Joey Porter not making a lot of plays today, that when Alexander started to get the outside, didn't you just feel that Porter was going to catch him? I mean, and I know that Alexander was determined to get to the outside, and Porter was equally as determined. Right here, 55, equally as determined or more determined to catch him, and he did. Because Alexander has speed. He's not just a great running back with average speed. He has good speed.
Close to a horse collar, but no call. Third down and 18. Hasselbeck throwing, and It's intercepted at the 5-yard line by Ike Taylor. And Ike Taylor is brought back to the 28-yard line where he's tackled by Matt Hasselbeck. And a flag comes in at the end of that play.
When that flag came in, though, that's not going to affect the interception.
No.
That'll be post-possession.
Post-possession foul at the end of the play, right in front of the Pittsburgh bench.
Personal foul. Block below the waist. Number 8 of the passing team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
On Hasselbeck, 10:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. The ebb and flow of this one. Wow. Interestingly, that's Tony Correnti there in the warm-up jacket with the zebra stripes underneath. He would be the backup referee. Now, here's the deal on this play. We think it's a bad call. If Hasselbeck is making a tackle, he can go low. If you go low on a blocker, and the call was that he went low on 26 Townsend, that was a cut. And that's why they argued the call to no avail. Can't review something like that. The ball's at the 44, and Parker takes it up to the 46-yard line. So it's kind of like insult to injury at that particular point. You have the interception after you thought you were down at the 1-yard line in the pass to Stevens, the penalty, the pick, the penalty, and now Pittsburgh with 10.5 has it near midfield.
Yeah, and that was one of the things the officials thought they saw something they didn't see, and that was Matt Hasselbeck just making a pretty good play in a tackle and getting penalized for it.
Again, if you cut a blocker low, that's a penalty. But that time, he made the tackle low, and that's legal. Second down and 9 at the 45-yard line. They swing it out to the left side. This is Randall L. Randall L with a little bit of a convoy. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards on the play. Pruitt makes the tackle, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, you know, they just try and get the ball to Randall L. in the open field and let him run with it. That was a wide receiver screen. You know, most of the times we see a screen pass, it's usually a back coming out of the backfield. That was where he comes back quickly, throws it out to Randall L., and the line.
At the 48, Dyson back in defensively for Seattle. One cornerback spot. Roethlisberger out of the shotgun. He's going to run it. He's going to run for a first down to the 42-yard line. Design play, John?
Yes, I would say that was a design play because he didn't look very long. And we'll look at it from Skycam. We'll see what he sees. You see, he comes back, and he sees right now, he sees a lane here, and he also has a lane here. So he's definitely going to run that thing and know that he can get a first down. So he took the lane to the right and then cut back to the lane to the left. Pretty good running.
At the 43. Little toss. Here comes a gadget play. Randall L. He can throw. He was a quarterback in college. And he's thrown a touchdown to Hines Ward in the Super Bowl. "43 yards, and sooner or later, they're going to run a gadget."
And you know it's coming in this alumni area that I said is between the 40s, and you know that Randall L. is going to be involved in it. It starts off in a reverse. He comes around, and it becomes a reverse pass, and he throws a perfect pass to Hines Ward. Look at them, they're starting a bunch, and then he comes, here's Hines Ward coming all the way across the field. Randall L. getting the ball out in front for him. But you know that they're going to do it. You know that Randall L. is going to be the guy, and they're usually going to do it around midfield.
Randall L. in his career in regular season play 14 of 16 passing, 3 for 3 this year. Now Reed for the point after, and all of a sudden when it looked like Seattle's going in to take the lead, back come the Steelers. Each team with a huge interception in the game. Pittsburgh makes this one pay off, lead by 11. Has run the emotional gamut today. Mike Holmgren barking to himself after it appeared his team was moving into position to take the lead. Bill Cowher, in effect, breathing a figurative sigh of relief. The interception, down the field they go, and you just watched the first touchdown pass ever thrown by a wide receiver in a Super Bowl game.
If you had to guess what wide receiver would probably throw one, you would guess Randall L., wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
They really took advantage of Pruitt, the backup safety in there. I mean, he bit on that reverse.
Well, they're paying for that injury to Manuel earlier. He would have been the starter. Scobie brings it back up to the 17-yard line, and you'll see what we're talking about with Pruitt playing in the spot normally occupied by Manuel on the touchdown.
Well, the first thing here is you're going to see Ben Roethlisberger pitch and then come back and make a block right there. That's pretty good. I was talking about don't use your right shoulder, but if you get a touchdown, maybe that's okay too. They started with a bunch. Randall L. started over there on the same side as Hines Ward.
From the 16, first down, Hasselbeck. A lot of time, but the secondary does its work, and thus the pass has to be thrown out of bounds to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Al, Randall L. told me before the game that if there was going to be a gadget play in this game, it was going to be that reverse pass. They hadn't used it ever. They wanted to use it. It was in the game plan, and of course they did. But before that touchdown, before the Casey Hampton sack, before the Ike Taylor interception, this bench was down. You could read it in the body language of everyone from Roethlisberger to Bettis. This bench is completely enlivened now, Al.
Absolutely. They went from maybe being down by 3 to being up by 11 again. Clock is their friend at 8:41.
And that's why Bill Cowher loves those gadget plays, because it does change momentum.
Hasselbeck, and he's going to run for a first down. And Hasselbeck's going to make the most of it, and then Hasselbeck loses the ball at the 35-yard line. And the question is, was he down? And they're going to say no, at least for the moment, and recovered by Polamalu. The question is, was he contacted? All he did was fall down. If he just fell down and wasn't contacted, it's a fumble.
Not down by contact. It is a fumble. First down, Pittsburgh.
That's the one instance when the ground can cause a fumble, when you're not contacted. Now, you saw that foot actually might have gotten a little bit of his jersey. Hasselbeck goes down, but the ground at that point, yes. Now, was he touched by 50? You see that on that view, the official obscures it. But if they want to review this, the question is, was he contacted? Yes, look at this.
Seattle's challenging.
I think Mike
on the field,
Holmgren, he just challenged. I was just going to say, I think here you are in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. You have to challenge.
Absolutely. So Levy will go under the hood. And again, the game will turn on a call. 8:26 to go. Levy will make the announcement shortly. We think he will overturn the fumble because there was clearly contact. And you'll see in a second, Levy's going to make the call here.
After reviewing the play, the runner was touched by number 50 of the defense prior to going down. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 34-yard line. Seattle is not charged a timeout.
And that's all that needed to have happen for Foot. Foot touched him. And then at the end of the play will be watch Hasselbeck's left elbow. There's the contact. He still has possession of the ball. When does he lose possession? He loses possession after the left elbow hits the ground. The second the left elbow hits the ground, end of play.
Right, and the big thing, I think, was the down by contact, the contact to Larry Foote. I think when they first ruled it a fumble, they probably didn't see that Larry Foote had contact with Hasselbeck.
So an 18-yard gain by Hasselbeck. Seattle still breathes. They're at the 34-yard line with 8:11 to go. And now Alexander. Before tough yards up to the 38-yard line, Casey Hampton makes the tackle. Clock will tick down under 8.
I think that Seattle, has to get into that up-tempo again. Now, usually when you need 2 scores, you go to a hurry-up at 4 minutes. So if you need 1 score, you have a hurry-up at 2 minutes. 2 scores, you have a hurry-up at 4 minutes. But at 7 minutes, 39 seconds, I think I would at least go to up-tempo.
Looking ahead, all their timeouts, plus the 2-minute warning. Here's Jaravicius making the catch. And Jaravicius dislodging the helmet of the Pittsburgh defender, Townsend. picks up a first down at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, this is one of those basketball things. Always try and get everything over to the other side. Get Juravicius back here by himself. And again, with his big body, just get the ball out to him away from the other guys. Get him to rotate one way and come back to this side to Juravicius.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line. Hasselbeck going deep down the left side. And the coverage is right there again. It's the Juravicius to Shea Townsend combination, second down.
Yeah, and you get the isolate back here. They had the two receivers over on the other side. Juravicius back here. And the first one, they worked a shorter pattern. And then they saw that they had something. They had single coverage here, so they came back to the deep one.
In that matchup, Juravicius with a 7-inch advantage of 6'5" to 5'10". Second down and 10.
And he's tired. He just took himself out. And like I say, I mean, the clock is stopped here, but I still think they've got to get the up-tempo for the Steeler defense.
And Seneca Wallace is in the game. Remember, he's the backup quarterback who caught a pass in the championship game, but they use him as a decoy and they flip it out to Alexander, and he gets taken down from behind on a nice tackle by Chris Polk, the backup nose tackle.
And Seneca Wallace is going out now. That's interesting because I know they do have some plays. They have a package of 3 or 4 plays for Seneca Wallace other than quarterback, and one of them is a reverse.
He made that big catch early in the game against Carolina. Third down and 8. Guy they haven't gone to is Jackson, who had 5 catches in the first quarter and none since.
Well, they kind of got away from that, hitting that short pass, that quick stuff in front of them.
Third and 8, under pressure in the sack, the big sack by Shea Townsend, the corner who comes up from the left side, almost through the middle. You never know where the defensive coordinator, Dick LeBeau, will put the heat on from.
And that was an overload blitz, and that's exactly right. Matt Hasselbeck said, that he has to not know who's coming, but know who's not coming. Well, in this case, you better know who's coming, too, because the Shea Townsend just runs in there free. And he looks, but he was going to throw to the right. He turns to his right, and boom, there's number 26.
Compelled to punt now. Willing to punt it to Randall L. 3 sacks of Hasselbeck today. 1 by a lineman, 1 by a linebacker, and 1 by a defensive back. And that one goes into the end zone. And with 6:20 remaining in the fourth quarter, Ben Roethlisberger will go to work with the clock. And an 11-point lead. 21-10 Pittsburgh. The field we come again with 6:15 to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you look at Pittsburgh offensively, Al, and they're winning 21-10, but it's just some big. I mean, Roethlisberger had a big play in the scramble. Parker's long TD run and Randall L's pass, reverse pass.
And each team with a big interception. Jerome Bettis gets stopped at the 18-yard line. Chuck Darby is the first guy there. Now looking ahead, of course, it would be very beneficial if Seattle stopped them 3 and out here. Conserve their timeouts. It's a 2-possession game. Seattle has all of its timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, so they can stop it in effect 4 times. I
see Bill Cowher down there with his arms folded again, and I can't see them throwing here. Now that doesn't mean they won't. I mean it could be a backbreaker if they could get a completed pass and get a first down, but just knowing Bill Cowher, this is a run down and a run situation for him.
That is not a Red Auerbach victory cigar with the arms folded in this situation. Bettis chugs to the 24-yard line. Very key 3rd and 6 coming up. The big plays, of course, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3rd down and 28. Roethlisberger making sure he didn't go across the line of scrimmage. The huge pass there. Parker's 75-yard run, the longest run in Super Bowl history in the third quarter. The gadget play after the interception when Seattle was moving in perhaps to take the lead or at least a field goal that would have made it a 1-point game. The big plays for the Steelers.
Right, and that's their 21, and that's under their whole offense for today.
Blackjack. 3rd down and 6 at the 24-yard line from the shotgun. And Roethlisberger is going to call a timeout just before the snap. So look over, call a timeout with 4:45. What happened, says Bill Cowher.
Timeout Pittsburgh was called before the clock ran to 0. It's a 30-second timeout. Second charge to Pittsburgh.
They have won left. Here is the play with the play clock.
You're right, and again, you'll see the ball snapped a lot of times right after 0 because the official who officiates that has to look at the clock hit 0 and then at the ball. So it's kind of a 0 beat before it's a penalty.
Don't the Chicago Bears know that after the game with Carolina?
Yes, they do. That may have been a couple of beats, though. There's Charlie Batch trying to find a good play in his wristband to give to Ben Roethlisberger for this 3rd down play. Charlie Batch, the backup quarterback, and was at Pittsburgh practice the other day, and it was interesting. You know, a lot of teams don't give the backup any reps at all with the starting offense, but the Steelers do.
He saw a lot of action. 3rd down and 6 from the 24 out of the gun. Roethlisberger repositioning Randall L. Fakes to Haynes. Then a little dump off. Randall L. And Randall L. will pick up a very important 1st down because that's going to use more of the clock. The ball comes loose at the end of the play.
Watch out, there could be a foreign object down there. It's always the umpire.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the umpire is usually the biggest, strongest, toughest guy, but it's always the umpire that when there's a pile, he'll dive in on it. This is going to be a shotgun play, and they're going to fake a reverse and then come on and just hit a little dump pass. I think this is about as safe a pass as you can have.
And a monster 1st down because now Pittsburgh can chew up the clock and force the Seahawks to take their timeouts. We took down to 4 minutes. That'll milk the clock. He gives it to Bettis. Bettis picks up 5 to the 35-yard line. And now Seattle really between a rock and a hard place. You got to stop them, and you also have to take your timeouts.
Yeah, because they know that they need 2 scores, and like I said earlier, they have to get into a 4-minute type thing, and it's under 4 minutes now. So there's a great deal of urgency right now. They have to get the ball back.
No question. They have to take it here, but what you don't want to do is give up, 4 or 5 yards on 1st down. They gave up 4. You have 2nd and 6. You could be forced to take another timeout, let's say with a 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. We'll see. ABC Sports presentation of the Super Bowl being brought to you by Mobile ESPN. Introducing Mobile ESPN. Sports fan, your phone has arrived. By Dove, get involved in the campaign for real beauty. By V for Vendetta, from the creators of the Matrix trilogy, in theaters and IMAX March 17th. And by Budweiser, thanking you for being a designated driver. This is Ontario coverage being brought to you by Budweiser Select. Downtown Detroit, you saw the lights on at Comerica Park, home of the Tigers, which is right across the street from Ford Field. 2nd down and 6 now after the Seattle timeout. The ball is at the 35-yard line. Bettis. And again, that's the position you're in right now. You have to take a timeout, but Pittsburgh has made it 3rd down and short. So you force Seattle to use the 2 timeouts. Now if you pick up the 1st down, you're almost home. Not quite, but almost.
Well, you're getting very, very close, and you're putting. You can see Mike Holmgren just getting that feeling now that, we have to stop him here. I mean, if we don't, then, like you say, you're very, very close to being home.
Bettis mic'd up. Listen in.
It's no different than week 1. It's no different than week 1. Do what you've been doing. Hey, hold up. Hey, Al, hold up. Listen up. Hey, it ain't no different than week 1. We're going to do what we do, and we've been doing this since training camp. Take care of our business. One play at a time.
Jerome Bettis. Is it the end of his career? We don't know.
Well, I would bet he gets a ball on this down, though, wouldn't you, unless it's a bootleg run.
3rd and a short 3. Kreider's the fullback. Bettis, the fake to him. Roethlisberger's going to run with it, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. Pruitt says no, he didn't make it, but here comes the line judge, and he's going to put the ball just across the yellow line. Levy may measure, but it appears that Pittsburgh has a 1st down.
Yeah, that was the play there. I mean, they're not going to throw the ball. They're either going to hand it to Jerome Bettis or they're going to fake it to Bettis and have them. In fact, that could have been a broken play. But they're going to fake to him and just bootleg him. And those are the two things you do, is either give it to Bettis or fake it to Bettis and, you know, and keep it out here yourself like Roethlisberger did.
Roethlisberger has made some big runs in postseason. None bigger than that one.
That one was a backbreaker. You know, we're on the 40-yard line. You know, I was talking about the alumni area between the 40s. That's an old college term. You know, when the alumni say, hey, you have to do this, you have to run reverse, you have to do this, you have to pass more, you would always do them between the 40s. You'd never do them, you know, when you were going in or where you're coming out.
And there's Bill Cowher. like Red Cashin came out of retirement. First down.
No, and that was a big first down. That's a Super Bowl winning first down.
It's a little unusual, though, to see a coach whose team against Indianapolis almost coughed up a game that was not to be believed with that big of a smile and still 3:20 on the clock.
That thought just went through my mind, too, and I'm sure between now and the end of the game, it's going to go through Bill Cowher's mind.
Right, he'll grit his teeth again pretty soon. First and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Jerome. Seattle can only stop the clock with one more timeout plus the 2-minute warning. They have to use it here, which they do. So they're now out of timeouts. You'll have the 2-minute warning. They're still down by 2 possessions, a field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. You go back to Indianapolis, a game they appear to have won. They get off to a tremendous start. Look good. Then they had the Polamalu overturn. Then you had Bettis. They're down near the goal line. All of a sudden, Jerome didn't fumble at all during the regular season. Harper comes up with it, and here comes a tackle for the ages. Forever living in Pittsburgh lore. Roethlisberger.
And that deserves to go down in lore. I mean, that really does. That maybe that play, that tackle is what really put him here. And got Jerome Bettis here and got all those things because of the tackle that Ben Roethlisberger made. You know, that's an old defensive guy and special teams guy, Cowher. You know, like some guys celebrate, you pat someone on the back, you pat him on the head, and he just grabs him by the chest and just throws him. You know, that's a celebration.
Everything but a head slap. On second and 8, here's Bettis. Roethlisberger attempted to become the youngest quarterback to win a Super Bowl. He got a lot of advice this week from Dan Marino, who played, of course, with the Dolphins, but is a Pittsburgher. One of the things Marino told him, he said, soak in every second. Enjoy everything. And, of course, Dan would know better than anybody his spectacular career, but he only got to the Super Bowl once in his second year, as does Roethlisberger.
Right, and that's what he wants him to know. That, you know, don't think that this is going to be an annual deal for you. I mean, you know, you're here now. Make the most of it. Enjoy it, but win the game. Believe me, getting to the Super Bowl is one thing. Winning the Super Bowl is what you have to do.
Third down and 8. Here's Bettis. He will not get the first down, so this will take us to the 2-minute warning, and Seattle's going to get the ball back. It'll be 4th down. They will, after the 2-minute warning, punt, but Seattle's going to need 11 points without a timeout in 120 seconds. 2-minute warning in Super Bowl 40. The Pittsburgh Steelers 21, the Seattle Seahawks 10.
My whole career bottled up in 60 minutes. That's the approach I'm taking. The goal has always been to get here. The Lombardi Trophy with your name on it means that you are champion of the world. It's been my driving force my whole career.
Back to Detroit we come. Al Michaels, John Madden, Michelle Tafoya, Susie Culver with 2 minutes to play in the game with an 11-point differential. Pittsburgh to punt. Gardocki to kick it. Said earlier, long career for Chris. Never had a punt block in 15 years in the league. And it won't happen tonight either. And it bounces into the end zone. That took 9 seconds. So 151, no timeouts. Of course, you can do it in either order here. You don't need the touchdown, the two-pointer, and a field goal. Just get into field goal range, and maybe you even kick it a little faster than you normally would, so that you try the onside kick and at least set up a touchdown.
That's what I would do, because you can't use up all your time trying to get the touchdown and then not have any time to get the other score. So you have to get any type of score as quickly as you can.
Well, I mean, if they can get it down to about the 30-yard line, you bring in your field goal team, then you have the onside kick. 1st and 10, the ball is at the 20-yard line. Steelers rush 4. Hasselbeck throws over the middle, which is not where you really want to throw it here if you don't have to, and Jeremy Stevens makes the catch, and the clock's going to keep running.
See, the one thing, you know, if you can throw it over the middle, you got to get your guys back, though. But if you can throw it over the middle and get first downs, then you can come up and spike it.
Oof,
but if you're short of the first down, then you get fouled up.
Yeah, 2nd down and 4, Hasselbeck. And that one's going to go over the middle. And wide open is Jared Vicious. And he's going to get taken. No, he's not going to get taken down initially, as Chris Hope couldn't knock him down. Now they're going to race up to the 39-yard line. Again, if you can pick up about 10 or 12 yards here, you kick the field goal, and then you have the onside kick. 1st and 10. Hasselbeck. Stepping up. Looking. Slings it to the outside. That'll stop the clock. Throws it away. 60 seconds to go.
I wonder if Mike Holmgren is thinking that way, that I would probably take one more play. If I got in field goal range, I think I would take one shot for the end zone, then kick the field goal. So I'd try and be a little hoggy about it, and try and get both. But I think your idea, right, is get in field goal range now, and then, as you say, kick a field goal, or as I would say, get in field goal range, take a shot, then kick a field goal.
Right, Josh Brown, good field goal kicker. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. Hasselbeck stepping up, looking, slings it to the outside, and he had the open man there. Was strong, was probably the 4th guy on the food chain at that point, as he just tried to dump it off. And it will be 8 more seconds that are used on the clock, and sets up a 3rd down and 10.
And there's no tougher throw than the 4th guy in the food chain being all the way across the field. When you're in the left side of the field, he's on the right side. You're not going to complete that. That's about a 10%er.
Yeah. And not in the final minute of the Super Bowl either.
No.
3rd down and 10.
There they go.
Towers waving. Here comes Polamalu. Got a hand on him, but the pass is thrown, and it is incomplete. And there's no flag, and now it's going to be 4th down. And it will come down to this for the Seahawks to try to stay in the game. For Mike Holmgren, he came very close to stepping aside after last year. He walked into Paul Allen's house, the owner of the team. He said, you know what? I might not be the right guy for the job. If Allen said you're not, he would have left. But Allen said, think about it a little bit more. And there is the owner of the Seahawks. And he changed a lot of people in the organization. Holmgren said he's never had as much fun as he had this year. 4th down and 10. Hasselbeck stepping up. Needs the first. Has it to the 24-yard line. That's Ingram. Now, do you kick a 42-yard field goal? For starters, they're going to down it here to stop the clock. Okay, 34 seconds.
And I think you take one shot here at the end zone. If you don't get it, I think you kick the field goal in the next down. But as you say, you can't spend all your time now trying to get this score and not have time for the onside kick in the next drive.
Right, you take a shot, but if you're going to, it's got to be, I think, to the outside or the end zone. But if you're going to fool around over the middle, that's going to kill a lot of time. You'll have to spike it, and then you're down to almost nothing.
They have a play to Darrell Jackson down here that if the Steelers are off, so it's going to be tough to get. That's what he's trying to get to.
To the outside, and that's about the last thing you want to do, and it's incomplete, which is a break for them, because at least that stops the clock. Tyrone Carter with the coverage.
Yeah, you have to kick the field goal right now. If not, you're just going to die trying here.
Pittsburgh not letting them take the kind of shot they wanted to.
No, they had Darrell Jackson down here in the bottom, and they were going to take a shot to him on the left, but the Steelers were playing way off on him, and he couldn't even get to the defender, Ike Taylor.
3rd down and 10. Bill Cowher ending his 14th season, looking for his first Super Bowl win. Three-man rush. To the outside they go. And staying in bounds, Carter made the tackle on Stevens, and he stays in bounds. And now there's really nothing left to do. You can't spike it. It's fourth down.
Boy, they finished the game the way they finished the half.
Absolutely. And the pass over the middle, and that's Stevens, and he's going to drop that one, and that's going to write an end to it. And you're exactly right, John. The first half was a mess at the end. The end of this drive was a mess for Seattle's offense.
But how about Bill Cowher? You talk about coaches, and I said earlier his yeah, but he hasn't won the big one. Yeah, but he hasn't won the Super Bowl. He's won it today.
You bet. His daughters are there. And that's always been the thing. You're right, John. It's that yeah, but thing, you know. His wife, Kay. Bill Cowher, a great coach. A lot of wins. Titles. Gets to the Super Bowl. But now he's going to hoist the Lombardi Trophy.
And I'll tell you, you look at his daughters and you look at his wife down there. They live that, too. They live with that can't win the big one. You always go to Hawaii. You know, you're always coaching the Pro Bowl. You're never in the Super Bowl. And then you have to just kind of stay there and take it. But I'll tell you, they'll never be able to say that about Bill Cowher again.
And what a run. As they'll end it on a kneel down. Polamalu will be the safety valve here. And the Pittsburgh Steelers 7-5. And wouldn't have made the playoffs 2 months ago. Run the entire table with 8 wins, regular and post. All of them in postseason on the road.
Bill Cowher was saying that he wanted to get this one to give owner Dan Rooney his 5th Super Bowl ring. He did that.
And finally, after those 4 Super Bowl wins in the 70s, one of the great dynasties in the history of sports, they finally, in 2005, the 2005 season, on February 5th, 2006, they finally get the one for the thumb.
You know, and this feeling is so great. I mean, if you're a player, I know what Bill Cowher is feeling and thinking right now. He is just soaking in this moment. It doesn't get any better than this. You're the Super Bowl champion forever.
And you had so many big plays. One was the penalty on Sean Locklear without overlooking that negated what would have been a 1st and goal for Seattle and a possible lead, leading to the interception by Taylor, leading to the Ward touchdown pass, leading to the 11-point lead, leading to the victory. Pittsburgh wins it by a score of 21-10. The Cadillac postgame show, followed by Grey's Anatomy. Coming up next here on ABC, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the Super Bowl champions. A lot more to come, of course. The Cadillac postgame show with the Lombardi, the interviews, followed by Grey's Anatomy. And we wrap it up. Hall of Famer, the pleasure has been mine.
It's all mine, Al. Thanks for everything. And it's been a great year. And for the Steelers, you know, there's no easy way to do this, but they definitely did it the hard way, didn't they? I mean, having to win 7 straight and, you know, 3 playoff games on the road and come in here today and win a Super Bowl, and you know, after losing 3 straight in the middle of the season and recovering from that, I think it's an amazing story.
And so many twists and turns in this game with Seattle, not necessarily dominating, but controlling the pace early, 3-0, and then Pittsburgh scoring the Roethlisberger pass toward the end of the first half. The dual interceptions, Herndon for Seattle to get them back in the game, and Taylor for Pittsburgh to get them out of a lot of trouble early in the 4th quarter. And we'll be coming back to Detroit after this.
Lost, Wednesday, only on ABC.
I'm Chris Berman. Welcome back to Detroit. Steve Young, Michael Irvin, Tom Jackson will be by shortly. Our trophy presentation in a moment. Grey's Anatomy coming up. What a great storyline. Jerome Bettis coming home to win. Bill Cowher getting the elusive Super Bowl. The Steelers winning all these road games to advance to the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Now to the PA announcer, Alan Roach, for the trophy presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Super Bowl I and II MVP Bart Starr and the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Well, Pittsburgh has its one for the thumb. At this time, we'd like to bring up the Commissioner of the National Football League, Mr. Paul Tagliabue, to present the Vince Lombardi Trophy to the Rooney family again.
Dan and Art, with today's victory, your proud franchise joins the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers as one of only 3 teams in the history of the National Football League to have won 5 Super Bowls. And your family has been at the helm for each of those championships. Congratulations to you, to Coach Cowher, all of your players, and all of the Steelers fans around the world.
Mr. Rooney, how does it feel to have the trophy back in the Steel City?
Oh, it's wonderful. Like I say, that's where it belongs to. It belongs to these players right out here who have done a marvelous job, and Coach Cowher and his staff. It's just been marvelous, and we're so thrilled to bring that back to Pittsburgh.
Congratulations, Mr. Rooney. Bill Cowher, Super Bowl champion coach.
I've been waiting a long time to do this. Mr. Rooney, this is yours, man.
Let's hand it back to Coach Cowher for a second so you can enjoy your moment, Coach. Grew up rooting for the Steelers, grew up watching the Steelers and the dynasty that it is, and now you're responsible with your team to bring the trophy back. How can you feel your emotions to describe it?
You know what, Mike, it's almost surreal right now. I'm going to tell you what, we came in this training camp. This is a special group of coaches, a special group of players. I was one small part of this, trust me. These guys were so resilient. And this staff, this group, the support staff, we got a special organization that starts at the top. And I can't be more happier for Mr. Rooney, for the players, for the coaches, and for the city of Pittsburgh. We are proud of the team in the 70s. But we now got our own little niche right now with this group right here. So, you know what? We're taking this baby back home, and we're going to enjoy every minute of it.
Sure, congratulations, Coach. We have the most valuable player here, the most valuable player of Super Bowl 40, joining the legacy of great players, named the Super Bowl MVP, Hines Ward. Tell me about the big play with you and Antoine Randall, the multi-purpose guys to make the game-deciding play in the end.
Yeah, there's no question. I couldn't have did it without my teammates. Offensive coordinator Ken and my receiver coach Bruce Arians, they called a great play at the right time, and the offensive line did their job blocking. And Antoine, where you at, Antoine? He threw a hell of a ball, man. I'm glad to have him, and it went for a touchdown to help our team win the Super Bowl.
Well, all the MVPs were introduced before the game. You joined that group forever, and you know what the MVP means. It means you get to ride around Antoine and the rest of your teammates with some sweet wheels. Over there, 2007, one of the first 100 off the line. Brand new Cadillac Escalade. Got some keys for you, Hines. Keys MVP. Hines Ward with the 2007 Cadillac Escalade. And before we go, I think Detroit wants to say hello to the Bucks. Jerome, the story could not be sweeter. How does this feel?
It feels incredible. I mean, my teammates, you know, they put me on their backs and they made sure that they wouldn't let me down every step of the way. These guys were tremendous. I mean, they brought it home for us. And Detroit, you were incredible. Pittsburgh, here we come.
Is this the last stop for the bus?
You know what? It's been an incredible ride, and it's always a time when you have to call it quits. And I played this game to win a championship. I'm a champion, and I think the bus is the last stop is here in Detroit.
Well, it's home, fifth leading rusher, Super Bowl champion. Congratulations on a great career.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Detroit, on a great Super Bowl. Congratulations to the world champion, Pittsburgh Steelers. And we send it back to Chris Berman. Chris.
All right, Mike, and the bus stops here, huh? You could not write a better story. Congratulations to Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward, Bill Cowher, the Rooney family. The Steelers will be back right after this.
This is the Cadillac postgame show.
Have won Super Bowl 40 over the Seattle Seahawks, 21-10. Grey's Anatomy coming up later. We'll be back with some reaction from the Seahawks, more Steelers reaction, some analysis from our guys. The Cadillac postgame show will be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Party on, Pittsburgh.
This is the Cadillac postgame show.
Well, their lights stay young.
8th year as head coach, 10 years after his first Super Bowl appearance, Bill Cowher gets the shower that he desired. The Super Bowl champs, the Steelers. Talking to Coach Cowher 2 days ago, I said, give me a player this week who you feel will come up biggest. He goes, Hines Ward. He knows his team inside and out.
That was the story of the game with Hines Ward, and then the storyline is Bill Cowher gets his championship, and Hines Ward, the bus, is now in the garage, but what a great career he had.
You know, I think about Seattle, man. They had a good game plan. No one gave them a chance. Every time they almost took the lead, just couldn't do it. This one, Tom, you talked about, they will regret and think about.
Certainly this championship was won in Indianapolis and in Denver. Today, a little more awkward of a performance, but the champions did it all the way on the road.
That's right.
Spectacular job.
Well, the Rolling Stones sang it. I can't get no satisfaction. Don't think that's the case in Pittsburgh, PA. For Tom Jackson and Michael Irvin, Steve Young, and all of us, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Super Bowl. Congrats to the Steelers. They win 21-10. Grey's Anatomy's next.
The thrill of victory. The agony of defeat. This is ABC Sports Championship Television.
ABC Sports thanks you for watching this special presentation of the National Football League.